Joining me from the Global Food Forum is National Farmers Federation President David Jochinke. Thanks for your time. All this tariff talk, is that overshadowing today's event somewhat?
It's really focusing the fact that Australian agriculture is a very good industry and the fact that we have got strong relationships with our partners. And when we talk about tariffs and the potential of them potentially hitting Australian agriculture, we've got to remember that it's been the fact that we have had free trade over the past decades. It's the fact that we have got very strong trading relationships through free trade agreements that has allowed us to innovate, to be able to produce high valued food and get access to strong markets across the world globally. We're a reliable and trusted supplier and we have high quality food. These are the strengths that we've got, and whatever happens within trade, those are the foundations that will lead us forward.
What are the potentials, you think, when we talk about the US market? How disruptive could that be if that's the next tariff path, as has been hinted?
Obviously, we've got the direct, which is potential for our Australian goods to have a tariff put on them, and then the indirect, the fact that other markets then get flooded with potentially offset goods that would have potentially gone into the US, also competing with ours. So this is where we've got to make sure that we've got a diversified strategy. We've learnt a lot through COVID with supply chains. We've learned a lot through our experience with China about ensuring that we are diversifying our markets, but then also ensuring that we've got good quality information about our high value products, so that when we are asking consumers to buy Australian, that they know the difference between a price and the value that they're getting. So for us, yes, there's a lot going on. This is a dynamic space. We want to deal with real facts. We understand that the start of the next month is potentially when more will occur, but at the moment we're trying to deal with this with calm and cool heads, understanding that we have got other options that will be presented to us, and that we want to ensure that we're capitalising on any exports that we do make into those high value markets. So yes, we're concerned. Yes, this is really critical that we are having these diplomatic conversations, but we also know that all is not lost with one market.
Could it spurn almost a bit of a rest of the world reaction? I mean, Donald Trump's latest one is 200% tariffs on European wine as an example. So every other country goes, right, well, the US almost wants to be an island with a select few things shipped in there, and other barriers are actually dropped, so there's not disruption. Do you get a sense for that at this stage? Is that a possibility?
Well, you've just got to look at past situations where tariffs have been imposed and a tariff war has occurred. It actually stifles innovation, it pushes inflation up, and we're already seeing globally the effect that a long period of high inflation has caused a lot of pain through our communities, the citizens of all nations, and this isn't something that we can have going forward. So the inflationary effect of tariffs is immense. And even though on face value a policy of tariffs is meant to boost domestic consumption, it actually makes things more expensive when you take competition out of the market. And Australia understands this. We're a very competitive producer. We are very efficient in what we do, but also it's the value that we add. And that's probably the silver lining in this conversation. We've been in the free market for such a long time. We understand the business of agriculture, not the romance of it, and we are very understanding of the key numbers that drive our businesses, and that gives us the advantage to ensure that we understand what makes us profitable, but then also understands what we have to do to work harder to get access to other offset markets.
Okay, just quickly as well, obviously you're right on the cusp of an election. Do you have a firm view on which of the two major parties is going to be better for your organisation, or are you reserving that judgment for a little longer?
We're probably going to reserve the judgment for a little bit longer. However, we understand that there's a lot that's happened in the last government that's been put in place. We want to make sure that agriculture and food and fibre, and even the fact that a lot of agricultural land is involved in energy, that we put it more at the top of the conversation list, not having been a byproduct of a decision. We want to make sure that Australian agriculture has got solutions both for our regional communities and the economy, but more so looking at agriculture as a holistic industry that demands and needs infrastructure investment, energy supply, and the supply chains for us to make sure that we are getting our goods to those premium markets is more than just one portfolio. All of government has to get behind agriculture for it to succeed, and that's the things that we're going to be pushing all politicians to aspire to. And we're not sure what government will be formed.
Okay.
What we do know is it will be a challenging environment to get cut through in the current cost of living crisis.